Good morning. Let me take you back to a moment when I was a young person. I was just about to graduate from high school in eastern Finland, not far away from the Russian border, at the time when the world seemed it was opening up. Berlin Wall has just come down, and I remember watching news and all these hopeful people smiling, and there was a sense of opportunity. I also remember I was in school at the time. Our history teacher literally tore the history book in front of us, telling we are not reading this official doctrine anymore. We are looking newspapers from here on, and we will discuss how things really are. That moment left me with a mark. So it told me that systems, whether they are political, physical or digital, they don't just happen, they are built. And they reflect the values of people who built them. So now more than 30 years later, we are at a different kind of crossroads. So we have a huge geopolitical divide in the world. We have democracy being challenged in countries. We didn't expect that to happen. We have a war in Europe. And then we have new technology, artificial intelligence, bringing all the good and bad things for us and shaping our society in the ways we don't yet know. So if I would be a young person today, I would have questions. So once again, we are asked in Europe to think about what kind of future we want to build. And I have news for you, that's why we are here. So we are here to do our part. And we are here to discuss what it means to build cybersecurity the European way. Not from a place of pride, but from a place of responsibility. I would like to thank you all for making the trip to Finland. It's a bit far away from many parts of the world you are coming and joining our SPHERE event. And when you introduce yourself to the person next to you, and you talk about it, you will be talking to a person who shares the same passion to build strong cybersecurity for Europe. My name is Antti Koskela. I'm the CEO of WithSecure. A few years ago, the world was shocked by a scandal involving a company called Cambridge Analytica. That company had harvested personal data from millions of Facebook users without their consent or knowledge. And you thought you were sharing harmless updates with your friends. But that data, it was used to create political advertising designed to influence public opinion during elections. So this wasn't a mistake. This was quite deliberate. At the same time, Europe had responded by creating the world's toughest data protection regulation, GDPR. It has made our data safer. But we introduced heavy fines, heavy regulation, heavy compliance for companies. And that undoubtedly made us safer. But we need to ask ourselves, at what cost? So those who have read the Mario Draghi report can find that Europe has failed to create data and AI-centric innovations, partly because of over-regulation in GDPR. And when we look what's happening in the elections, on the other hand, we see again elections being influenced, and public opinion being influenced during elections, now this time with artificial intelligence. And you can only look at news of which countries that has happened recently in Europe. So if we truly want to build platforms that share our values, they need to be built in Europe. And we need to start building cybersecurity solutions for our own good and use European technology for cyber. People say to me that we don't have a chance. There are these big, powerful platform businesses, global, omnipresent everywhere, nothing can be done. So these global platform economies of today, they are called modern monopolies, and they have even written a book about it. It's what it takes to dominate 21st century industries, in plural. But yet we have chosen to build most of our critical infrastructure on non-European technology. So what we see a lot of Microsoft being, for instance, used in public sector. So we need to ask ourselves, is that helping our digital sovereignty? And more importantly, can we count on somebody oceans away to come to help at the time of potential crisis? For me, the answer is simple. It's no. Europe needs to have sovereign cybersecurity, but that we build it here, and we don't rely on outside help. Solutions need to be built based on our values. So we cannot regulate ourselves to the digital sovereignty. We need to start making moves where we build the digital sovereignty. That's what we need to do. We live in unique times as well from the technology. So who hasn't heard from artificial intelligence here in the audience? So any hands? Not a single one. So these super cycles that happen, they tend to be long, more than 10 years or longer periods of time, under which technology shapes societies and businesses in the ways we can't think in the beginning. So we have all been living in the society that is built on electricity. Electricity was one of these super cycles. And I for sure, I'm old enough that I have seen when the last super cycle, internet, started. For me, it was 93. I was in the university, in the lab, where my colleague showed me, hey, here's a cool thing for Mosaic browser. Honestly, I thought all it can do is show structured documents over the network. I wish I would have had more foresight. But what it means is that when you take artificial intelligence today and put it on the internet time horizon, we are probably at the year 95. So it means we have a choice. So we have a choice to influence artificial intelligence and its development to be responsible. And more importantly, the secret I want to share, we have a choice to build strong technology in Europe that built on data and AI. That's what these super cycles allow us to do. So for WithSecure, we have made our approach very, very clear. We are building AI-driven playbook for European cybersecurity. Not only to automate security operations, but we want to contribute to the wider digital sovereignty in Europe. We have made conscious decisions to handle all our customer data in Europe, develop all our products in Europe, deliver all our services from Europe. And we want to deliver all these products to everybody in the world to whom these values matter. And we want to be the flagship of European cybersecurity. So like I told you in the beginning, these systems don't just happen. They are built by people, and they reflect the values of the people who built them. So the theme of the Sphere this year is New Horizons. So we talk about the future we are going to build. We are going to talk about future that is secure and resilient, and is aligned with who we are. So with that one, I have a small challenge to you. So let's take responsibility. And let's choose to build a future that brings this autonomy for us. And let's do that together, brick by brick, the European way. Thank you and welcome to SPHERE25.